Well, good morning. It is 2:45 a.m. I know this is a bit crazy, but it's Sunday morning, and we have the 2 a.m. update, and it is sitting off the coast at a 130 mile per hour winds. Just south of us around Thibodaux, where I used to live. It should reach a 2 at that point and go down. And then by the time it reaches us, I don't know, a 2 or a 1. Now, the line is directly over us at this point. If it's accurate, that would mean a direct hit. Now, earlier we were located to the east of the line. So it is shifted east, which is actually better. You would think not. But actually, if you are to the right of the center, top right corner, that is the right northeastern quadrant of the circle of the hurricane. That is the worst section of the hurricane, the most damage. Usually the highest winds sustained, not gust, and tornadic activity in that northeastern quadrant. So if I'm a direct hit, the northeastern quadrant will be east of me, northeast of me. So maybe. It's still not going to be good. I'm not saying it's going to be good. Okay? The way it stands right now, it is worrisome. It is. I have to admit. But we are as prepared as we possibly can be. And like anything else, it's very difficult not to have control. I was diagnosed, most of you know, with PTSD back in 2004. Anyway, when my son's accident, I get so confused with those years. It was all a blur. So I know what that is. When you realize you actually have no control, that is what brings on PTSD. Reality is that you have ultimately no control. Now, you can lessen blows. You can prepare and make things better. You can try and make good decisions versus bad decisions. And some people I know are going to say staying here is a huge bad decision. But I already explained why. My parents. And, and I am a little further inland. I'm not going to take a 4 hit. Anyway, you can try and lessen the blow, but no matter how much you try, life throws you those curveballs, those moments that you don't prepare for, that you can't prepare for, where things change in a split second and alters your future, not like you had planned at all. And those are the moments where you dig deep and try and learn from them. it's a hard lesson. What I'm ultimately saying is, some people just know that and accept it. Others, like me, thought that by coming out of the childhood I grew up in that was quite chaotic and somewhat a preparation for the world we live in today, a bunch of lies, deceit, and gaslighting and conniving, that can only be the gift of addiction, a family of addiction. Anyway, it prepared me for this today, but I thought that when I would leave that childhood, that I would have control, ultimate control. And then I learned one day that I don't have control through nearly losing my 2 children. And that spun me into post-traumatic stress disorder, because when you truly, deeply grasp that reality, the world is a scary place, but you can't stop living. You cannot stop living. And by me grasping the reality that yes, my life can change in a split second, and accepting that, and having to be my own cheerleader ultimately in the end, and having to grasp death and what that means, which is really life in a different form. Only then was I able to get well. And not have this vice on me of fear, of ultimate fear of death. And I'm not telling you it went away completely. I still have moments, especially when I'm riding in the car with somebody else driving. Now, some of y'all might say that that's normal, but it wasn't normal for me prior to the incident years ago, okay? And those moments of heightened fear that I still have sometimes, because I'm not in control driving the car, and then it's not just the person driving the car, it's everybody around, and one little mistake. And it's enough to where if you weren't able to calm yourself, you know, it's stressful. So I still do have those times, but ultimately compared to the way my life was, it's nothing. So this fear in this last year and a half that has taken over this world is nothing but people realizing that they don't have any control. So therefore they want to relinquish their control to somebody they think deserves it. But the relinquishing of my fear was based on reality of you know, somebody could be in a car accident and die. Somebody be in an airplane crash and die. Somebody could be, I mean, they're freak accidents. Those are the things I'm talking about. A boating accident, like my brother died. Those spur of the moment things that just, wow, catch you off guard. The real things, okay? But I understand the fear. Mine was really, you know, real. I almost lost 2 children. But you can understand my empathy to those who have this fear, but instead of working on themselves and doing their own research and doing their own studies to really realize what's truly going on here, which is kind of scary in itself, but their energy could be directed in the right direction. But nobody wants to do that. If I wasn't willing to do that, I couldn't have gotten better. It would not have been possible. Nobody wants to look within themselves and deal with what needs to be dealt with. And it's a never-ending process. I am not ever what I would consider 100%. I always have work to do. But if people would face how short the time is here and know we don't have control, and that is why we need to live every moment the best that we can. And the best that we can is not in fear. Because what comes after here, if you truly have faith, is not anything I can describe to you. It couldn't even be described to me. It's the transition that we fear so much, the unknown. But if you really understood, we're standing in the unknown every day. We think we have control, but we're standing in the unknown every day. And where we're going, there is no fear. Nothing here is really relevant anymore. To the point where, if you believe in near-death experiences, they'll tell you, I did not want to come back. A lot of them. Unless they felt they had a purpose. And even then, they wanted to stay. When I experience fear, which happens still occasionally because I'm human, I pray and I talk to myself, not out loud, on the inside. Because that is nothing but evil. When you have fear, you have control. And one of the things I think that they purposely interpreted and put down the wrong word when they're talking about fear of God. It is humbling yourself to God. It is humility to God. Understanding that you need to be grateful for being here, for existing, for having experiences, and for being a part of creation, which is Him. Fear is of the spirit that offered Jesus the world, His kingdom, the earth. And He said, "Get behind me, Satan." Fear is of the earth, here. Fear is not of God. A lot of that has been twisted. It's been very twisted. God is warmth, and God is home, and God is humility, and God is within you and a part of you. I got distracted. I went off. Sorry, but I really feel the need to say that. I really feel the need. So, I'm sitting here the night before it all starts. You can hear there is no rain. It's very, very quiet. But things are going to change. And I just have to have faith. As long as I have my people and my family and my animals, and we have life for now, we need to be grateful. No matter what we face. God did not promise us a bed of roses. He didn't promise that at all. He promised us life while we're here. An eternal life if we choose it. Choose wisely. Because there are a lot of storms here, and we need to do what's right for our future generations. But one day there will be no more storms. I will talk to you later. Bye for now.